Okay, let's get into this. We're going to take you deep into Mizoram today. Picture this. You're in the Mammoth district, these lush, mist-shrouded hills right up near the Bangladesh border.
Yeah, and the Talang River is flowing right through there. The specific date we're looking at is November 11th, 2025.
And all eyes, I mean all political eyes, are on one thing. The Dampa Assembly Bypoll.
And the thing that just immediately grabs you isn't the geography, it's the participation. The final provisional voter turnout hit 75.92%.
75.92%. I mean, that is a huge number. For a by-election, that's practically unheard
Yeah,
of.
it is. That's the kind of number that tells you something really significant is happening on the ground.
Exactly. So that's our mission for this deep dive. We'll look past that number and really decode why this massive turnout. And what does this, this very local race tell us about where the entire state is heading right now?
Well, polling started at 7 a.m. across 41 different stations, and the momentum was just relentless. It wasn't a slow trickle.
So people were showing up early.
Oh, absolutely. By 3 p.m., just as things were winding down, the turnout had already hit 75.15%.
And it really paints this vivid community picture, doesn't it?
Hmm.
You can imagine families showing up. You've got first-time voters who are really energized.
And that's key. This wasn't just a political act. It felt like a community event.
Right.
It turned a routine vote into something more.
A real civic gathering.
Precisely. And to understand the energy, you have to understand why the seat was vacant in the first place. This is really a sequel, a story born from a very personal loss.
You're talking about the passing of Lalrintluanga Sailo.
That's right. He was the sitting legislator from the Mizo National Front, the MNF, a really dedicated figure.
And his passing was quite sudden, wasn't it?
It was. He died from a heart attack on July 21st, 2025. He was 65 and in a hospital in Delhi at the time. The emotional weight of that, it just can't be overstated in a place like Dampa.
Right, where politicians aren't just names on a ballot, they're known figures in the community.
They're neighbors, they're community leaders, and his death, well, it created huge stakes. He was a veteran voice, and for those 20,790 eligible voters.
Which is that mix of Mizo, Chakma, and Brew communities.
Yes, for all of them, this vote became partly about honoring his memory. It gave them a really powerful, almost non-political reason to show up.
So that 75.92% turnout, it's directly tied to the political weight of this moment. This isn't just about filling a seat.
No, not at all. It's a test of the current power structures, a test of loyalty, and a test of where things are headed next.
Okay, so let's lay out the political chessboard here because it's fascinating. You have the key contenders circling this Dampa seat. First, you've got the ruling party, the Zoran People's Movement, or a ZPM. They're fresh off that massive statewide sweep last year.
And they are absolutely trying to keep that momentum going. A win in Dampa for them would be, well, it would be a huge validation.
Proof that their victory wasn't just a one-off fluke.
Exactly. Then you have the Mizo National Front, the MNF. They're fighting fiercely, not just for a seat, but to reclaim Sailo's legacy. This is personal for them.
Losing this would be more than just a political loss. It'd be a psychological blow.
A huge one. And then there's the third player, the National Party.
The BJP, the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Right. They're trying to expand their footprint in this Christian majority state. Now, they only hold 2 MLAs at the moment.
Just 2.
So they're not necessarily expecting to win Dampa outright, but their presence complicates everything. They could split the anti-ZPM vote, for example.
So this race becomes a major test. Is the ZPM's momentum holding strong, or can an established party like the MNF mount a serious comeback?
That's the core question. And what's interesting is that despite all this tension, all this pressure, the actual election day went pretty smoothly.
I saw reports of a few minor hiccups.
Yeah, very minor. Some early glitches with VVPAT machines. That's the paper trail machine that confirms your vote. But the election teams fixed them really quickly.
Which I think speaks to the strength of the process there, even under this kind of spotlight.
It really does. But now we need to zoom out. We have to shift from the micro level of Dampa to the macro. Why should people listening to us, people outside of the Mammoth District, actually care about these results?
And this is where it gets really interesting, because this local contest, its ripples extend across the entire state. The outcome is basically a critical sneak peek, a barometer for 2 huge political showdowns on the horizon.
Dampa is the early warning system. That's the perfect way to put it.
So first up, what's the immediate event it precedes?
The Leh Autonomous District Council elections, they're scheduled for December 3, 2025, so just a few weeks after this bypoll.
And you need to understand, the LADC isn't some minor administrative body. It holds real power over tribal lands, customary laws, and resources in the whole southern part of the state.
It's a huge deal. Controlling the LADC is absolutely essential for any party wanting to project statewide dominance. So a strong ZPM showing in Dampa gives them a massive tailwind going into those council elections.
But if the MNF pulls off a win,
Then they suddenly have powerful momentum and negotiating leverage right when they need it most.
okay, so that's the first ripple. What's the second big event that Dampa's results will influence?
The Aizawl Municipal Corporation polls, slated for early 2026.
The capital city.
The capital city, the ultimate symbol of governance and state power. If the ZPM shows any sign of weakness in Dampa, you can bet the MNF and maybe even the BJP will see an opening and push much, much harder in Aizaw's.
So the results from this one bypoll will directly shape the strategy, the funding, the entire emotional energy poured into that capital city campaign.
Absolutely, the stakes just keep getting higher.
So for the average voter, for you listening right now, what this really confirms is that in a state like Mizoram, where community ties run so deep, a bypoll is never just about one person or one seat.
No, it's about shifting alliances. It exposes cracks in the political landscape, the everyday concerns of people in Dampa farmers who need better roads, traders who need reliable power, families who want better schools.
Those local issues.
Those very local issues are suddenly echoing all the way to Aizawl. That 75.92% turnout is proof that people see this vote as a direct line to state leadership.
It forces the major parties to listen. As the sun set behind those hills on election day, the message was pretty clear. Mizoram's democracy isn't a passive thing, it's thriving.
It is thriving, and it is highly motivated. What we witnessed was a really remarkable turnout driven by this powerful mix of honoring a legacy
Cielo's memory.
and at the same time this very cold, hard political strategy, a test of the ZPM's momentum against the MNF's fight for survival.
Which sets up the final crucial question. The results are due any day now. What is that final count going to reveal? Which party managed to turn all that community enthusiasm, that palpable energy, into actual vote?
That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? Will the momentum hold for the ruling ZPM, proving that the change from last year is here to stay?
Or does the whole script flip?
Or does the count flip scripts faster than a hill wind changes direction? Does it signal that the MNF is back, ready to challenge for the LADC and then for Aizawl? The outcome is going to tell us everything about the political road Mizoram is on for 2026. And that, for you, is the crucial question to keep an eye on.